We were going to talk about accessing your joy today. We got off on a little tangent. But this is a theme that's come up for me this week.
Yeah.
I don't know why this week that presented itself to me, but it did. So I was talking to a friend about her husband who's not happy right now. And he just can't seem to access his joy. And I thought to myself, I access my joy all the time, but I don't know that I was always that way. I don't know that I feel like I wake up joyful and I go to sleep pretty joyful. And of course I have frustrating moments, and of course I have bad days. But my general theme of my day-to-day life is joyful. And so is my husband. We're both very joyful people.
Yeah.
So accessing your joy is like we can do hard things.
Yeah.
I think if you have in your brain that your job today is to access your joy, even at your shit job, even if your kid's screaming, even if you feel bad about your body, even whatever, your litany of negatives are. If your goal is to be happy, like my goal is always to be happy, and to access your joy, for some reason that term to me doesn't mean that you have to be joyful all the time, just that you have to be able to access it. Because to be joyful all the time is a tall order,
So I have been starting to meditate.
Have you?
Yeah. I have my EMDR therapist. She's amazing. She's been sober 20 years, and mindfulness and meditation is like part of her practice. And she gave me a mantra that I've been doing EMDR tapping before bed and doing these mantras. But the main one that's sort of like I've been wrestling with is, may I be I already messed it up. May I be free from fear. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I live with ease. And when I'm doing this mantra, sometimes I struggle with, may I be happy, because I don't know.
That's the one you trip up on? Why?
Because I tell myself, like, I don't know if I deserve to be happy.
Yes, you do.
Well, but that's the thing is, like, for whatever reason, I think, and this is probably a function of my last relationship, because I would say that my ex was not a joyful person, and very much was like caught in sort of like, I mean, he's an antinatalist, so he thinks that we should like walk into extinction hand in hand.
You should what?
Walk into extinction hand in hand. He was anti having children. It was a whole thing.
Okay.
It was a whole, and it was a red flag.
Anti-natalist. That means he doesn't want to have kids?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
He believes that people shouldn't have children, and that we should just all extinct ourselves.
Just die.
Yeah, pretty much.
To save the planet?
Yeah.
Mass suicide?
Pretty much.
Oh my God.
Red flag that I ignored.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah. And so I'm on a new path. I'm accessing my joy by listening to people when they speak to me.
Yes.
And so I think when I was with him, I was very unhappy. And I kind of told myself, like, well, happiness feels like sort of like an American entitlement thing, where it's like, I need to be happy to be, or I need to present as happy, like sort of like.
But that is true. You need to present as happy.
Right.
That is a very American thing culturally, I think so. But
I think that it was a justification for me to stay in that relationship. Where it was like, oh, I'm not happy, but like I don't deserve to be happy. No. And now, like,
but why do you think you thought that in the first place? What's the origin of I don't deserve to be happy?
I don't think I was happy a lot in my childhood.
No.
I think I presented as happy and was very unhappy.
I see. So you think that's what normal is?
Like, to be happy and joyous, to feel liberated, to be empowered is unnatural. Is as unnatural as being sober, right?
Right.
Like, and I think it kind of ties back to sort of like the frustration of not being able to produce a synthetic feeling, where it's like I felt happy when I was high and drunk. I was able to voice things that I wasn't able to say sober, right? But then the next day I'd be hungover. The next day I'd feel ashamed or whatever it was.
But if you can access it drunk, you can access it sober.
Well, that's
the thing.
Truth.
I was in psychology class in my freshman year in college, and I was a drunk. I drank all the time, and my psychologist was talking about altered states of consciousness, right? And obviously, when you're drunk, you're in an altered state of consciousness. And I raised my hand and said, wait a minute. I can only dance when I'm drunk. Are you telling me I can dance when I'm sober? And she said, if you can do it drunk, you can do it sober. The body knows how to do it. And so I experimented. I went out that weekend and didn't drink anything, and I danced my ass off. And I went, I've been lying to myself this whole time.
Yeah.
I've been lying, thinking that I can only be happy in that altered state of consciousness, not understanding that if I can be happy there, I can be happy anywhere. If I can have fun there, I can have fun anywhere. If I can be brave there, I can be brave anywhere. So that was one of the biggest aha moments of my young adult life, was that one question I asked and that one experiment I did to test it. And when I figured that out, I went, okay, that's when I started phasing out of drinking. No, it couldn't have been my freshman year. It had to be my sophomore year, because I stopped drinking when I was 20, 21. So that's when I started going, interesting. Maybe I can learn how to do that sober, thinking I needed to learn it.
Yeah.
But I already knew it.